So this is gonna be for our mushroom ragu.
And these are just button mushrooms, or are these creminis?
These are button mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and I kind of cut them to different thicknesses and sizes, as long as they're around the same. Like you can see here, you know, that's the same size as this, which a good tip, anything when you're cooking it, if you're trying to get it to the same, you know, cooking spot, you need it to be around the same size.
They all cook kind of evenly.
Exactly. Nice. So big tip with mushrooms, they have a lot of water.
Yeah.
Any mushroom does. So when you're cooking them, you know, sometimes you get, and they're like that rubbery, just kind of like weird texture.
Spongy.
Yeah, so you want a high heat in your pan to start off. You want to not overload it like I did here. There's none like sitting on top of each other.
Single layer.
Yes, exactly. And you want to just kind of push them as much as you can in the beginning so that they get rid of some of that liquid.
Okay.
And then when you add something to it, it gives more flavor into the mushroom.
Nice.
So they kind of like suck it back up.
Beautiful.
So that's what we want to do there. Okay, so now I'm just going to get a little bit of garlic. So one thing that I like to do, I don't always like to chop it, depending on where I'm using it. So you can just hit it. They always show you this trick with a knife, but you can hit it with whatever you want to. I don't have that beastly of hands, so I can't just be like on the cutting board.
That was pretty impressive.
Exactly. Thank you. So the only trick to this is you don't want it to be too small, because sometimes you won't always cook it. You're just kind of giving that flavor into it. I'm going to grab a little more.
Just like a mellow kind of garlic
Yes, exactly. Like a hint in the back.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like that.
And you'll smell it for sure, like once it starts cooking at home.
I smelled it like almost as soon as it went into the pan.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we want.
Great.
So that'll be for the ragu, and then I'm just going to do some shallot as well. I use shallots a lot more than onions. I mean, I use onions as well, but they give good flavor. It's not too much of a harsh taste either. It just gives like a little background note.
Yeah.
So for this, I'm going to take it in half, and this is going to be for the ragu.
Okay.
So as the mushrooms get done, we're going to add this later, but it's going to be a fast cooking. So you don't want it to be too thick because the shallots won't cook.
Gotcha.
So you can use a mandolin, you can use your hand if you want to. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna move back a little bit here. Just gonna kind of do a real thin slice of it.
Very nice.
And we're not gonna need too much, honestly. I think that's all we're
you've
gonna
done
need
that
for
a few
this.
times
I have. I've nicked some fingers. I've done all the good stuff. But hey, that's how you learn, right?
Exactly.
That's it. So I'm just going to keep moving these around. You can hear them sizzling away in there.
And they're starting to pick up some really nice color,
They are. And now see, like, that's what you want. You want this golden color. You don't want anything that, if it starts to get too liquidy, turn your pan up or take some of the mushrooms out, because it's just giving off a little too much liquid.
Right.
So another component I'm going to add to this, like aromatics, is some thyme over there. So we're going to do, I'm going to say 2 sprigs.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go for that same concept. I don't necessarily want it in the sauce. I just kind of want it to have that flavor. So I'm going to throw the whole entire thing in there. I'm not being lazy. I'm not doing nothing like that. I just don't want it as part of the dish. So you can see there we're getting some really, really nice color on there. And as the water comes out, the mushroom will start to shrink, which is what we want.
They have a lot.
Yes, exactly. So in the beginning, you're going to be like, this is ridiculous. This is such a big pan for such a small amount of mushrooms, but that's what you need. That's what gets them to where they need to be. So I'm just going to season this a little bit now that we've got some of the water out of there.
Okay. Because if you season too early, that's going to bring too much liquid out.
Exactly. And then we're going to do some sherry cooking wine, which I use a lot at the restaurant as well. I don't know why I have an addiction to this stuff, but I do. Maybe just because it's wine, I don't know. So we'll do this on the bottom.
Oh, now it really smells good.
Yes, exactly. So we'll right? So we'll reduce that down almost till it's gone, because you want that thickness as well. Once that's reduced pretty well, we're just going to add a little bit of this cream. Now you don't want to go crazy because you don't want it to be too thick.
Right.
So you're just going to add this in.
Oh, that's going to be so
right?
luxurious.
Doesn't it look so lovely?
Yes.
I'm not going to say that's good for your hips, but I'll say it's good for your stomach.
It's good for your soul, right?
That's it. So I'm going to wait a little bit on this, only because when I plate it, I'm going to just warm it up a little bit as well. So that's where we want it to be. If you're doing this at home and you're doing it for a party, you can get that stage ready, just kind of let it hang out, and then heat it up when you need it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So we'll just kind of move that to the side.